Sorry, go ahead,
No,
Lam.
go on, Yemi. Go
You
on.
mentioned something that I really, really liked just now, and I just wanted to add to it, to what you said just now. So, in the Black community, it takes just a grand total of 6 hours before a dollar leaves the Black community. Six
Mm.
hours in the US. In the Asian community, which is actually the largest in this poll, the lifespan of how long a dollar stays in that community is 28 days. Jewish community, 19 days. White community, 17 days. So why is this relevant? It's relevant to what you just said, LD.
Oh, it is.
So,
Oh, it's
so,
very
so that
relevant.
means that $1 that you make,
Hmm.
if you have a legal problem, you are not giving it to a Black lawyer to solve it for you.
No.
You're going to a white lawyer.
Hmm.
If you have a construction problem, they should be coming to you.
Hmm.
If you have a legal problem, they should be coming to allow me. Do you
Absolutely.
understand? They shouldn't be going to Mr. J. White. They shouldn't be going to Mr. Patel. No disrespect to any of those communities, but how do you grow your community if you're constantly pushing the money, the hard-earned money you make, you're pushing it out of your community, and it leads to what you said about, yes, it's nice to have the standout performers like the Calendleys, but you mentioned if they get into trouble, where's the network to even help you? Nobody's going to help you.
What-
Yes, you're worth $7 billion, but you get a scandal, and then what happens? But an Asian guy gets a scandal, and the communities behind him are like, nope, you are not going down. This guy is not going down because this guy is a community guy, which leads to what you said about mentoring and making sure you have like minds around you. So, excellent point.
Thank you. And in fact, you summed it up perfectly. That right there is my motivation. Is that I'm in a place where there's zero respect, we don't get level. We have to have a community. We must have a community. I can't be the only one that's doing this. I can't know something and not want to be ready to teach my brothers and pull them by the neck if I have to. I say, come and see. Here's one of the, because the thing about the Western world is success is really more information based than anything else. It's not based on connections, it's based on information. You get the right information, you can do it, because guess what? For the most part, they play by the rules. So if you have the information, if you enter anywhere, go do what you need to do. And there are lots of us that have information that refuse to share because they feel like that's what makes them chairman. So again, not to beat that horse to death, we have to change our mindset, because going back to this whole thing about economic leverage, the more of us that have that leverage, we don't need more individual billionaires. We just need thousands more millionaires,
More millionaires, yeah, more across the
thousands
community.
more, so
Yeah,
that
that are willing to
Hmm.
put it. Yeah,
you
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So that where I
You,
live right now, my district in Georgia is represented by a Nigerian. That is possible when people rally. That is possible when we're intentional about community. My district and the next district, literally, are both represented by Nigerians at the state level. So,
brilliant.
Osheshe, right? And
Oshishi.
I think more of us just need to think
Oshishi.
about that. Even Nile, you know, these are some of the challenges that we're facing. Is that Johnny Bobo era no. I like to know what the incontron so that I make sure we a mission chairman.
Hmm.
You can't teach that. You teach that to children. You teach that to you teach, as in you create a culture where the society is literally eating itself out from the inside. You can't grow. There's no growth when people think like that. When there's just competition everywhere. Obviously, there's the silver lining, which is the toxic excellence, right? Where you put a Nigerian somewhere, they want to be the best. That is a positive, but the negatives far outweigh. I don't want to labor this point too much, but hopefully you get the gist.
No, excellent
So
point. If you
you just, I
excellent.
mean, you know what? How does how does somebody follow something like that? As you were talking, everything you said resonated with me. Everything you said resonated with my personal experience, with my personal journey,
Yeah.
and some of my personal pains, some of which you know about, that sense that somebody wants to oppress you and somebody wants to fly, but he believes that the only way he can fly is to clip your own wings.
Mm-hmm.
Forgetting that if he lets you fly, even if you fly higher than him, okay, one day his children might need your wings.
Come on.
Preach, brother.
But now he's clipped your own wings. So you're only going to fly as a community as far as he can fly. Because it's the guy who's flying the highest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when his wings start to tire, now he'll complain about how he's the one carrying everybody. I'm carrying everybody. You are carrying everybody because you've clipped everybody else's wings.
That's right.
So if there's a load to be carried, you're about to say Agbajo or laughing Beru, sorry. Okay. If it was going to take 100 pairs of wings to lift this heavy load, okay, because you want to be the biggest bird in the pack, right? You clip everybody's wings and then you want to carry this load alone. And while you are at the peak of your powers, it might be great, okay, to carry this load. But at some point you'll tire. I don't want to belabor the analogy, but as you get tired, the load gets heavier. But the people whom you didn't empower cannot now help you lighten the load.
Yeah.
And come at the moment where somebody's hands can no longer grip the load. It just might be your child. And if you'd helped somebody, they would have been able to use their own wings and their own energy to sort of help your own child up.
That's right.
Or you can take the community only so far. Let the people coming behind you then lift the community further ahead. But if it's only about you, if it's only, and you see this in so many communities, honestly, I don't want to, but you know when I said that you and Dolakwa are alphas, I said this, I always say all the time, people are alphas. you just highlighted like passion as a social development. I don't want to use the word tool, but passion as an essential ingredient, as an essential mechanism for social change.
100%.
Hear me? What's going on in your mind?
No. I'm just, guys. You need to subscribe to this channel. That's what's going on in my mind. Can you hear the brilliance? Can you hear the brilliance? Can you feel it? Because I can feel it. So if I can feel it, and I'm a pioneer on this channel, you need to subscribe. Laomi and Larry, you've spoken really well. There's nothing to add, really. Brilliant positions on the topic.
Thank you,
Larry. I've watched you in the studio, you and Dell, and you guys were just playing with me. You were playing with music. Okay, you were playing with it that day. It was a day, I think I was there at yours. Dr. C was there. You guys were, because it wasn't a serious session, where you guys were playing with music, just playing with it. There's something that Yemi's asked before. Yemi's asked that, how come musicians never retire?
Remember, we had the conversation, bro.
So would you say that when it comes to music as your passion,
Eldee's laughing.
I watched you do one day, you were doing this thing as a joke. Chicken noodle soup, hot akara. It was a joke, right?
Oh, yeah.
It was a joke. That's what I say. You guys were playing with music.
Yeah.
It was and you were telling me that it was a skit or something where you guys developed. So I'm asking now, if you found a passion early in life, like you did with music, as you get older and the pressures mount, how do you manage that pressure? Do you still make music, for example? How do you manage keeping in touch with those passions, or do you outgrow them? What happens with them?
So I'd say passion evolves, right? If you're a creative, you can express in various ways. Unfortunately for me, I have a gift and a curse, which is that I learn things pretty quickly. And if I'm passionate about something, I go very deep into it. So I'm able to do it well. Unfortunately, I'm also unable to multitask very well. And I've recognized that as a weakness, right? I don't know how to multitask. Like I can't do three things at the same time very well. Something has to suffer. And so I started off by saying passion evolves, right? What I'm passionate about when I'm doing music is not how to take care of the family and all of that kind of stuff. It's just having fun doing, fun things. When I have kids, the scenario changes a little bit. And now I'm thinking about how to build some type of legacy, how to create some type of community and all of that kind of thing. And those are the things I'm passionate about. So it's hard for me when I'm in this phase of passion to dedicate time to play around doing music or making music. It's just every time I get in the studio now, the first thing I ask myself is Kilo Tunwa. Like, time enjoy garden enjoy right? And I'm so sorry, I'm speaking a lot of Yoruba.
No, look.
No.
We speak Yoruba here. We speak Yoruba
We do,
here.
yeah,
All right?
yeah. Please
forgive me,
Look,
but to translate for everyone else is like, go sit in the garden, relax. This is the time for you to be by. So why are you going to go put yourself in this environment? And you're not really going to really enjoy this. Okay, you create the music, then what? Right? Time is valuable, bro. Use this time to do something that is more aligned with your passions right now. Should I go read a book instead of spending time in the studio? The passion has evolved, and it's just a different thing that I'm into right now. So when people call me and they say, "Oh, I need you to hop on a track," one of my biggest regrets to date musically was when Olamide reached out to me and said, "Hey, we need to do music together." But in that very moment, and allow me, I kid you not, my mind was completely away from music. He sent me the tracks.
Wow.
I listened to the tracks. Now I can create even when I'm in that state. I don't need to I'm not trying to be deep when I create music. I just want to have fun, right? I can create, but in the moment, I just could not find, and I felt like it would be a disservice for me to just share anyhow and just send it back to him. So I called him and I told him, I said, listen, I want to do this the right way. This is not the right time. Not because I feel like, oh, it could have been a big record or something could have happened, blah, 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 blah. That kind of was a given if those tracks had been done. But I didn't want to I saw Sheon Kuti a couple of days ago, and he was talking about how music is spiritual and there's some elements of it that we shouldn't mess around with. I felt like something very magical was going to happen if I had done that. And I didn't want to disrespect the invite, so to speak, by just doing any nonsense and just keeping it moving. So again, to kind of bring this back, the idea is that my passions have evolved and I need to immerse myself in my new passions and not be distracted by my old passions. Music was something that I did at some point. It was massively, in fact, was all I did. Allow me to remember now. We go to the studio now from like literally a week just taking showers and going back into the studio, take a shower, go back in the studio, right? And that was the life, and we enjoyed it, and that's what we did, and we gave it, all of the time. These days, I wake up in the morning, 6 o'clock, I grab my coffee. I say I grab my coffee like I'm the one that makes it. My wife, gives me coffee.
His amazing wife, my amazing sister.
Yes, so
my amazing sister.
Shout out.
Hey,
shout out to Madame. Shout out to Madame.
Real to Dolly. Just say, hey, here's your coffee.
Dolly.
Here's your jump start. I take my coffee like this. I look at my calendar. Okay, what am I trying to accomplish today? Okay, cool. I'm off to the construction site. I don't have to be there, but I want to be there.
Are you guys building from scratch or renovating?
Both.
You're building from scratch now.
Both building from scratch and doing like massive alterations.
So tell me about building from scratch.
It just takes longer, but it's easier. It's so much easier.
Wow.
So,
It takes longer, but it's easier.
Yeah.
It's easier, yeah. It's easier to build from scratch than to reno. But I'm asking, does the architect in you come out when you get to a site? Is that an architect in you still? Is there a party that's looking at it and thinking, there's, go on. I'm going to this.
I was going to say, like, the architect isn't, so people think about architecture to mean someone who designs buildings. No, Architecture is just design, period.
Yeah.
So when I'm creating music, I leverage my architecture. When I'm creating music, when I'm in IT, I leverage my architecture. So obviously, now that I'm in construction, like it's something that I'm definitely leveraging big time. And it's weird that I've come full circle because I never imagined that I was going to practice any kind of architecture or even be around anything construction or building or real estate related. Like I always just thought, but I'm at a point right now where, like I said, this is my passion. I wake up in the morning, I am like gingered to just go, and go do something and start something and teach somebody something and create something and change something. Those are the things that I enjoy now. So yeah.
So speaking of construction, look, I'm a bricklayer, right?
Yes,
I'm a trained lawyer, all that wahala. And for all the things I love to do for fun, building is the one job, all right, that it's where it's not work for me. The building trade is not work for me. It's fun. From the time you give me a piece of land, a survey on a piece of land, I've got my iPad or my pen and paper, and I'm drawing. And I don't forget I'm not an architect, but I interact with architects and engineers on that level. I had a conversation last week with someone, and then she asked me a question. And I said, I was always an investor, and she asked, there were two people in the room. The older guy asked, "You're a lawyer. Why are you building?" And I said, "Okay, I know more about engineering than I know about law." All right. I said, "Okay, this is no work for me. It's not work. All right, it's fun. It's passion." Okay. When we were leaving the meeting, he said, "Your passion is contagious." It's contagious. I had met with her earlier in the day, and the woman had said, "Listen, I can listen to you all day talk about this thing. What do you need? Let's get it done." All right. Whatever it is you want done, we'll do it. Okay. And that's the joy of, like, when you find something that you really love doing. Yeah. So I had my challenges in the workspace, and I went in a different direction for work. And I realized that it didn't matter. This is what I really enjoy doing. It doesn't matter what else I do. This is what I enjoy doing. And then I'm back here, and my people call me and say, "Oh, I've got this project. Can you please consult on it for me," or whatever it is? And because you genuinely enjoy it. Now, I'm going to be a bit rude here. I always say that developers are megalomaniacs, right? That's those of us that take a piece of land, like an empty blank sheet, right? And you have the audacity to think that you can shape it, that you can design something, and you can build it in exactly the way your mind conceives it. Yeah. You're a megalomaniac, you're an egomaniac. And you know what? Whether you're Donald Trump or you're the Sheikh of Dubai or whatever it is, there's some massive egos. That's why I asked you, are you renovating or are you building? Because there's no builder, there's no guy that builds, that comes in from design. You're an engineer, you build other people's designs, it's one thing. But the guy that comes into a room, conceives of the space, sits down with the architect and said, "Design it like this.
This is my vision."
And then goes to exactly my vision, and then goes through the process of following it through. So when you said you don't have to be on site, you don't have to be on site, but a part of you feels like, if I'm not on that site, it's also, they call us site rats. It's also that passion for that thing you're doing that makes you want to be there. You want to be on site at 9 a.m. You want to go to that meeting, and then the work is done at 5 p.m. And even though you're tired, you're still there reviewing.
I'm there till 7:30. I'm there till 7:30. I mean, like, everybody else is gone. I'm still sitting there. What can I enhance here? Okay, what have we? So 100%.
To everyone, I'm going to say something. I think work can be your passion. When people tell me, when young people tell me, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with my life, I say try everything.
Hmm.
Like if you're tired of what you do work-wise, people say, "Oh, I want a new career." I say, "Good. What do you enjoy doing?
Hmm.
Have you really thought about it?" That I've been fortunate enough to have a career built around what I really enjoy doing.
Hmm.
And so it meant that work was never a chore. And so even though we talked about passions here, and it seemed like we're talking about hobbies, the reality is that work can be your passion. If you do what you enjoy doing, like in days when you did music full time, would you have said that was your passion at that time? And that was it work? Did it feel like work?
No, it never feels like work if it's something you're passionate about, and I think that's the point you're making, right? Is it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like work. You know, if it's something that you truly enjoy, why would you be waking up at 6 a.m. for something that you don't have to do? Why? It's because you love it. So, like you're saying, it's finding out what that thing is that you really truly love. That thing that you will do for free if nobody pays you to do it. And finding out a way to be really good at that thing so that someone pays you for it. Like you, allow me, I've been lucky as well. And let me just go back to something I wanted to say. I was holding myself, but for anyone who's watching, please don't allow me to downplay his real estate mogul status. Please, let's just get that.
No mogul here.
Two construction gurus in the house.
Ṣàánú ọmọ tí ò ní ìyá àti bàbá ẹ jọ.
Allow me to update your ticket to allow me the Don.
Please, so
let's
just let's give props to Chapman. So I just want to say that real quick. But you know, again, back to this whole thing about passion. It's about really finding what it is that you can do, even if you won't get paid for it, and you'll enjoy it. You know, I've seen people say, "Oh no, but the thing that I'm passionate about, I can't make money from it," is because you're not that good at it yet.
Bagong.
That's it.
Bagong.
You could make money. that's just
you simply haven't figured out the angle.
You just haven't figured it out.
You haven't worked out the angle.
Or you haven't
figured out the possibilities.
Or you haven't honed the skill,
or you haven't put enough time.
Yeah, enough time into it. We talk about 10,000 hours now. We've had conversations about that, allow me, like in the past, about this whole idea that you can become the best at, or at least the best version that you could possibly be at something by just giving it time.
Yeah, practice.
What is it that you want to do? Everyone has something. I don't know I don't have any passion. No, I just want to work 9 to 5. No, you do. You just not had time to figure out what those passions are.
Yeah.
You just haven't found time. And I would ask everyone, because it's the most liberating feeling in the world, to do something that you truly, genuinely enjoy. And then you get paid for it. You have no idea how this feels. I've been lucky in my life to have had that for most of my life, actually. Somehow, some way, I go down the music route and I get paid. Oh, okay, money day, nice. Then I go down tech, then I get paid. Oh. Then I go down this path and I'm getting paid. So I've been lucky. And I know that not everyone is lucky enough to be able to say that. But there have been times in my life too where I had to work. So I know what it's like working and doing things that you don't want to do. I was a consultant when I first moved back to Yankee. For many years, I hated it. I didn't want to do that. Go to some office and talk to some people, and then they look at you on kind of, and I'm looking at these people, and to me, with my Niger,
arrogance,
confidence,
Niger swag.
Walk into the, you know what I'm saying? I walk into this place and I'm like, Yankee. Me and Una no even dey the same level.
Na condition.
So now imagine that feeling, knowing fully well, say the person where they determine whether, I go get paycheck next month. Now person we no even go college, right? When they sit down, they determine my fate. So I'm sitting here with my master's degree in architecture, looking at this guy's mouth as he's telling me that, I looked at your performance.
Your appraisal. Your bonus.
I look at your performance. There are a few things that you can improve. Whoa, with my friend,
I have my reservations.
you know what I mean?
I have my reservations.
Yeah. They talk, I feel like you can maybe improve in these areas a little bit and blah, 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 blah. And I'm sitting there. So I know what it's like to do what I don't enjoy. But it's what I had to do at the time. I needed to do it.
Yeah. I just had a flashback now. I've never told Larry this story, but first time I stay hating Larry. It was like my second year or third year of university. It was second year, I think it was.
You hate me now.
There was this chick. There was this chick that I was liking. We were going to one party one night. So I came to pick her up for Maury. We didn't pick a chick up. We're going out. I went to pick her up. And there was a bunch, she was her and her friend in the car. And then someone said, "Oh, that's that Eldee guy walking past. That's that Eldee guy. So I looked, and who's the Eldee guy? I said, but she was excited, right? These two girls were excited. I think one of them was even like a year. So I think I was in year 2. She was in year 3. She was older than me by a year. So a year ahead, Auntie, why are you gushing over this guy like that? I was pained. I was like, Joe, really like. So Joe to come out of the car and go and say hi to him. Don't follow him to the party because I don't understand why you're just they rub it in my face. I'm not a celeb. Oh, do me go. As you can see, I'm so pained by it. Or do me go now.
Let it out, bro. Let it out.
Was for more me. Hola. Come down, go and beat him now. Sorry.
So interesting story.
That was my 5 minutes of madness.
Wild.
I feel like this conversation can never be exhausted. I feel like we okay. Me sorry I keep doing this. Larry, apart from we've talked about your gardening, talked about your music. Tell us about the bicycle.